Rich made 36 check dams, and the results are gonna blow you away. I've got many updates for you this episode. Dozer check dams, the pond, what's that blue light? And finding a better way to bring mulch from home when I drive out here. I got a lot of ground to cover, and I'm excited to share it with you. Rich took a week out of his life to build check dams in the middle of the Chihuahuan Desert. We've already had a couple of rains this year. We've seen early signs of success and the momentum building behind those check dams. Now that we're at the end of the rainy season, I want to see exactly how beneficial those check dams turned out to be. I remember one of the key reasons Rich settled on this W, and it's because of that mini forest that I identified as an unusual lush spot. That's what drew Rich's attention to the W in the first place, and you be the judge, but I think that was well worth the effort.
I need to remember to turn left at the Ocotillo. When you look around, there's like a million Ocotillo.
Yeah.
But there's only one Pedro.
That made my day.
Oh, awesome.
Hi, Pedro. You look lonely. You need friends. Here we are just 6 months later. This is the impact that one person can have with just a week of work. Let's go see how Rich's check dams did. Okay, I am looking for my friend Pedro. There he is. Looks good, Rich. Definitely have growth because of your work. Although I'm interested in this thicket. Holy cow. This is by far the thickest, greenest patch of grass on the ranch. I'm gonna have to put the drone up in the air and figure out why it's so green right here. Look at this. Huh. Interesting. All that grass. That's wild. See some debris. It's caught up behind the dams as well. A little bit of undercutting. Look at this. Look at these thickets. This is so crazy. Unfortunately, can't walk through them because I don't have snake gaiters. I bought some because Daniel's been finding so many rattlesnakes recently. I'd say that's successful. Coming to the middle of the W. Wow, look how green it is. This area is the best grass on the ranch. See what all that work did. It's just green along the whole bank. Gorgeous. All these little dams did their job. The second most exciting bit about Rich's check dams is that they're working. That grass blew me away. But the most important thing is not the fact that there's green grass. Yes, that's the goal, but what I appreciate about it is the human connection. Rich is doing something different. He did it in a way I never would have thought of, and I got to make a new friend. It's hard for me to overstate the value of people coming out here. The cynical view would be free labor. That is not my mindset. My mindset is new mistakes, new opportunities, new projects. I'm completely overwhelmed dealing with everything that I'm doing. So Rich being able to come out here and take ownership over a project, and especially to have a successful project, you can't ask for more than that. We build check dams all over the ranch, and you just saw how successful they are. The limiting factor on check dams is it takes forever to organize and relocate rocks. What if I could just do it with a bulldozer? This wash is full of gravel. It'd be real handy if I could push all of the rocks into a pile and skip all the gathering and skip all the organizing. This wash didn't run not even one time last year. I didn't know if I'd had the opportunity to see whether this idea would pan out or not. Well, if I had any doubt about whether the wash flowed, doubt erased. The ramp's gone. So we'll definitely get to find out how the dozer check dams did or didn't do. Nope, they're all gone. Well, that was a quick experiment, but looks like that was utter failure. I don't think there's any remnants of them at all. Every single one of them is gone. Just because the dozer check dams didn't work out, I don't want you to lose hope. It's part of the DUSTUPS thing that I do these cheap experiments or these fast experiments because the goal is to fail fast. Yes, they're fast and quick, but some of them have such massive payoffs that it's worth doing these kind of things, even if they fail 80% of the time. I owe my long-term viewers an explanation for why that pond hasn't changed since April. Because it's now September and I haven't done anything. That wall is the reason. I tried to explain this back in May as I was working over here with the bulldozer, and me explaining what was going wrong with the bulldozer came out as gobbledygook. I'm 5'10". This wall's 5.5 feet. The short story is, as I was using the bulldozer, I realized that the floodplain to get 5.5 feet goes way over onto the neighbor's property. The only way I'm gonna get this water up and over the hump into the pond is if I dig a trench. I don't have any hope in the near future of having a 10-ton excavator, which is probably what I need to do something like that. And we have so many priorities with the dozer, mainly Camp Swale 3. It's this huge swale. We've already cut about 11 or 12,000 cubic yards out of the hillside, making a wide flat area on a north slope that has pure clay. It's a mega opportunity. But in addition to not having the right equipment and having higher priorities, I also realized this may not be the idea that I thought it was, because at camp where the cave hole is, it has pure clay on the bottom, but that water doesn't stay in place. And we've had at least 10 events where that's filled up this year and it's still not sealed, which tells me that thing, it's not going to seal either. I will come back here eventually, but while I have a lot of momentum on the swale, specifically with water seeping up from the bottom of the ground, I'm gonna go where it's easier to work. I have pure clay where I know the moisture retention is, and it's so much easier when the bulldozer breaks down to deal with it. So I'm going to stay there. This project is paused for the foreseeable future, but one day. The way you start says a lot about the way you're going to finish. I start my day by rolling out of bed and sliding my feet directly into Bomba's Sunday slipper. I think y'all have seen the enormous difference that the little things make, like me moving the nursery near camp or me starting a garden sitting area near camp. Those little changes are making an enormous impact. Starting my day in the Bomba Sunday slipper is one of those things. Now that it's fall, the floor is cold, but year-round, the floor is dirty. I have grit everywhere. I sweep like a fanatic, and I just can't keep the place from getting dust. Starting my day in a slipper that's warm and cozy and comfy helps me walk around comfortably, and it sets the tone for the day. Do yourself a favor, get your day off on the right foot, start your day with a win. I'm cozy, I'm comfortable. You can feel good about your purchase because you're supporting DUSTUPS as you get yourself awesome slippers. And when you buy Bombas, they're gonna pass the goodness along. When you buy a pair of Bombas, a pair is donated. Feel good and do good with Bombas, knowing that your purchase is doing some real good. New customers get 20% off. Just go to bombas.com/DUSTUPS, use the promotion code DUSTUPS. That'll take 20% off of your first order. Planting trees and maximizing shade is an overwhelming goal of the DUSTUPS project. One of the big wins this year was establishing new growth in a low tunnel. The limitation was all of that growth was annuals and forbs. There weren't any trees. I'm convinced that the trees were germinating, but they couldn't get through the mulch, and we couldn't keep the soil moist enough. That leaves me with a catch-22. I either remove the mulch and bake the soil, and the seeds don't germinate, or I use mulch and the seeds germinate and they don't grow. I'm testing humidity domes to see if I can solve the problem. The idea is that the dome will keep the surface moist without blocking the tree from actually growing. No way.
What?
The honey locust.
Yeah. You didn't see that in the video I sent you?
No, I didn't notice it. Sweet, man. All right. Wow, look at all the grass over there.
Uh-huh. That's crazy, and a lot of that has only...
There, we'll walk over here.
Recently.
This is awesome. Interesting. Some of this agave is looking better than others. Oh man, I love the smell of the Vitex.
That Vitex?
Yeah.
Oh, that stuff is amazing.
Yeah, that elm didn't make it. See the little leucaena down there?
Mm-hmm.
Keep chomping away at it. All right, this one's finally growing. See, this is the one I was wondering if it was gonna make it right here.
I see. I was distracted by the smell.
Ooh, pretty. And then this elm is hanging in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's struggling, but
it's alive.
It's alive, and you got more chicory. I'm assuming
that's what I think. I'm so excited to see the grass growing.
And I know you told me what that was, and I just drew a blank.
Trailing 4 o'clock with purple flowers.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, there's going to come a day when we actually have to mow this.
That's all right. Take a weed eater.
Yeah. 7, 8, 9, 2. Okay. Now, let's just put the molasses in now. Well, it's got all the liquid. Get the rest of it out at camp. It's gonna be fairly heavy.
Good thinking.
Yeah, I don't want to touch anything. Keep it on this side because the cable's missing on that part of it. But
There we go. Woo.
got a little puff of molasses and fermented urine. Hey, you got the idler wheel off.
Yeah, I gotta get the new one on though.
You say that like it's hard.
I mean, I'm not the weakest person in the world, but
Yeah.
that's over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And there's nothing really that you can hold on to. Like
Yeah, it's a big
the
wheel.
sprockets are about, I think they're 198 pounds. So
Right.
it's 200 pounds.
I think you can make a really ghetto pulley.
I mean, absolute worst case, I'm gonna figure out a way to put handles on it and pick it up. But I really don't want to do that.
No.
Because
I think what you can do is you can use the other track. So if you put the clevis from the chain like right here, and then run it through so that bar, it's going to limit the sliding because you have that gap. Then you put the pulley on that side.
Okay, so you're pulling from here and it's just directing it down.
Yeah, or we can use this bar or whatever you want to anchor it on.
I prefer the track.
I think so.
I want to eventually get all this stuff straight.
Yeah.
and have all of it connected.
Yeah.
The grill's not even I mean, I think there's like one bolt holding the grill on, and that's it.
But are you seeing the connection? If you've got a
No, I'm tracking 100%.
and it's pretty lined up with not exactly, but
It's lined up enough that I can manipulate
Yeah.
it up in the air.
I think if we can winch it up pretty high, and with two of us, we can ghetto crane it.
Yeah.
Moringa, honey mesquite. The Paulownia doesn't need treatment. I realized I didn't correctly pre-treat the mesquite seeds. Miguel, who I met on Instagram, has this awesome looking project in Mexico just across from Big Bend National Park. He's doing something very similar to me. Actually, he's coming out next month. And he gave me this tip that for mesquite seeds, they use nail clippers to clip the ends. So I'm gonna do that to really get the seeds hydrated before I plant them tonight. This is tedious, but at least in the nursery, it worked incredibly well. You just have to be very careful to not clip the actual, I don't ever know the name, but the part of the seed that's actually alive. You gotta make sure you don't clip that or you're gonna kill it. But what I'll do is I'm gonna clip this. And then put the seeds back in the water for another 8 to 10 hours and then plant. I didn't clip all of them because the seeds that had already sunk have absorbed water, so that they don't need to be clipped. Just like that, a lot more of them already sink. Okay, so mesquite seeds looking really good. Moringa seeds are almost, I think all of them, there's like one floater, so they should be hydrated. And now we're doing an easy mix. Only 3 seeds. I'm just proving a concept. We're gonna do Paulownia. Yep. It's been a long day, but these seeds gotta go, so let's go knock it out. Hey, look. A ladybug. Hello, ladybug. Since this is such a hassle, let's pull these apart first. 1, 10, 11, 2021. Okay. The nursery efforts continue. The downside to the nursery is the incredible amount of time it takes to make a local potting soil mix, to put that mix in pots, soak the seeds, and get them in place. This is the four-winged saltbush after 24 hours, and it looks like only half the seeds have imbibed the water, so we're going to separate these into likely good seeds and probable bad seeds. There we go. In this bucket, I'm putting 15 per tote, and with 15 pots, we have exactly 0 germinations. Thanks to viewer support, I'm learning that that's not surprising or a big deal. Four-winged saltbush is especially finicky. Once it germinates and gets established, it will do amazing out here, but it is a fickle starter, and there's not a lot I can do to speed it up and make things go faster. So this is a bet that will pay off down the road, but it's part of the DUSTUPS experience. Just like for me waiting for the rain, I gotta wait for these to decide that it's time to go. A question I get in so many episodes. What's that blue light? You can see the swale and just the top of one of the DUSTUPS buildings way off in the distance. So this is the problem with the low tunnel, is we've re-clipped these 4 times and the wind just keeps blowing them away. Everything is doing pretty well, looks good, healthy, but the maintenance on this when we have so many other things to do is a bit much. So I'm not sure about the scalability, even though it works. The fabric is held on by PVC clips like this. The problem is when a strong enough gust comes along, it literally just pulls the clip like that. I should mention that we do have one success from the humidity dome, which is this little acacia. It's not a grand success, but the work isn't wasted, even if I only get 1 tree out of it. That's obviously not the result that I wanted. A lot of things have to go right, and in this case, it's been the wind. It's ripping my low tunnels apart to the point where I'm questioning how likely is that to be the method where I install trees in the terraces and the swales that we're building. Right now, and I hate to write it off, but it's looking doubtful. A recurring comment I see is people suggesting that I bring mulch from home. Sourcing the mulch is usually the problem, but this month I had an enormous pile delivered to my home from Chip Drop. It might have been as much as 20 yards. Even though I have a 1/4 acre, I didn't need quite that much. It made sense to take a little bit of the surplus, put it in the truck, and bring it out to DUSTUPS. I had less than a half yard of mulch in my truck, but when I use a dump trailer, I can bring out more than 20 times the amount of mulch or soil amendments in a single trip. And to make it clear how valuable that is to building the desert forest, check out this episode.